Good day, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. If you're here in the Philippines and you're in our sixth season of the year, I hope everyone is doing well, not getting sick. Had a couple of my friends get sick, and inadvertently, I guess I caught a little bit of it myself. I was sick for like 2 days. Not really severe symptoms, more upper congestion. Um, my kids got it next, and they had it a lot worse. Devin, not so much my son, but my daughter, uh, she was sick for a few days, and they ended up missing like 3 days of school. And my wife, she's been sick now for over a week and having a hard time kicking it. So, but hopefully you guys have missed it and not getting as sick. Hopefully the sun will be coming out here soon. The monsoon season, I hope, is coming to an end. At least I hope anyway. Haven't been able to go back to my farm and check on things there in the last couple weeks. Really need to get there to check on my dragon fruits and get them fertilized and all that kind of stuff. Just clean up around them. But it's kind of hard with it. It's raining so much and the roads are very muddy. Very hard to get in and out. So, but hopefully I'll be getting there. It's been pretty much raining all evening last night and all day today. It's just been raining a lot. Right now it's starting to drizzle again, and the ground's pretty well saturated.
Welcome to our paradise where dreams come alive. Hand in hand we'll soar like eagles in the sky. Every little moment.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about something else. Had a couple people ask me to make a menu for them, and I don't want to make this a whole part about the video. I do want to be two parts. The first part is talking about recommendations to eat and so forth. So I want to touch on that just a little bit. I can't really do menus for people. The reason why is because everyone's likes and dislikes are different. Their goals are maybe different than mine. Um, and so I can give you some suggestions as far as coming up with something you like. I mentioned before staying out of stuff that's processed, fast foods. And if you have to eat fast foods, if you're in America, Chick-fil-A has their chickens. It might be okay. If you can do like a whole chicken, not processed chicken, but the real chicken meat, and stay away from the breads, that might be okay. Um, and if you're having some difficulty transitioning to a diet that you want to cut out stuff, it's not going to be something that's going to be a long-term solution for you. Um, anytime you try to cut things out, it's going to be a transition period. It's going to be difficult to follow. So, like for example, if you want to cut out your sweets and cut out your processed foods, your body's addicted to that. It's going to take time to adjust. So you need to make adjustments slowly. Start transitioning out. Go longer and longer between eating those things with the goal of getting it off completely. Um, and then getting into, I would not start a keto diet or carnivore diet until you can get off all that other stuff. Because keto diets and carnivore diets, they're very good in what they do. Um, but it requires severe dedication. You can't go on a diet and then have some cheat days. It's just not possible. You can't do a carnivore diet during the week and then the weekend eat all you can on everything else. I reward myself. I've done good this week, so I can have a reward day. No, that's not how that works. Um, Keto and carnivore diets. If you were to cheat just once, you throw your whole system out of whack, and it's going to take you another several days, if not a couple weeks, to get back into that routine again. It's not something you can bounce back and forth. It has to be permanent. Um, you can do it for a period of months, and it will help you lose some weight and everything, but it really needs to be a lifestyle change. That's why I'm not really for keto or carnivore diets. It's a good starting point to get you off all these other things, and get your body in the right direction and changing your lifestyle pretty much. They're good starting points. I've used them. I've done them for a keto diet mostly, not the carnivore diet. I did the keto diet for a while, about a year. I lost some weight, but I really learned how to eat better and healthier. The carnivore diet, they're just too expensive. Meat is too expensive. And using cheap alternatives is just not a good solution for carnivore. Um, fish is expensive in America. Chicken is expensive in America. And I mean, yes, they're cheaper here in the Philippines. People could eat fish and stuff, but it's not something that is sustainable. I mean, you could not live on a carnivore diet uh, easily. It's going to require a lot of money and a lot of effort. So another thing I want to mention is that choosing these diets may be beneficial for a while, but it needs to be something long term. So what your end goal should be to cut out all sweets, processed foods, not temporarily, not reward yourself, but just stay off of them. Period. It has to be a lifestyle change, not bouncing back and forth. Um, Another thing is too, when you eat, um, you want to do what is called intermittent fasting. You want to get yourself where you're only eating, um, about 2 times a day, and not in the morning, not in the evening. The goal is to stop eating around 5, 6 o'clock at night, and not eating again until lunchtime the next day. Uh, they recommend 12 to 16 hour fast. So that means there's 8 hour period in which you can eat. So that's the goal, is to get to that point. So you start off slowly. You start eating further and further apart. And as diabetics, if you're diabetic, um, this is going to take some work on your part, because you got to watch your sugars. Typically they may drop, and you may feel nervous and anxious because you're afraid it's going to drop. So you have to keep an eye on it, but slowly just work yourself slowly. Okay, separating it. Go an hour longer the next day, and then after a few days, go an hour longer. Give that a few days and go an hour longer, and watch yourself. If you have to slow it down even more, slow it down. But eventually get to where you're only eating during an 8 hour day, 8 hour part of the day, and about 2 meals a day. And eat everything in moderation. You don't have to starve yourself. You really don't. Uh, you can eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of meat. You can eat a ton during those 8 hours. So as long as it's healthy food, you don't have to really worry about calories so much. Yes, it may slow your weight loss a little bit for a while, but over a longer period of time, you will eventually start losing weight. It's just natural because you're eating healthier. And eventually, you can start cutting back on the amount that you're eating and get down in the calorie restrictions. But main thing is do the intermittent fasting. Look it up, do some research. You'll find out that restores and rejuvenates your system. Okay, so anyway, wanted to touch on that a little bit about choosing your diets and foods that you eat. Just try to eat as much healthy food as possible. Stay away from your salads, like your salad dressings. Just because you eat salads and you're eating healthy, but then you throw that junk in there, salad dressings like ranch dressing and French dressing, all that stuff. If you look at the ingredients inside there, it's highly processed. it's got sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or whatever. Stay away from that. It's not good. If you want something that's good, take some olive oil and take some vinegar. Mix some spices in it. Get it dialed in just right, and it will add some nice flavor and texture. That will lead up into my next discussion. I want to talk about olive oil because this channel, I'm really into lifestyle changes that improve. That's why I moved here to the Philippines so I can live a healthier life, not just to be able to spend more time with my family, but to live healthier because in America, my life was stressed out. Nursing industry is so stressful. It affected my health and everything else. And then you have the lifestyles there. You know, it's very difficult, and it's so easy for you to fall into that trap of not eating healthy. I like being here because I can choose a healthier way of eating, and I have a lot more healthier alternatives. But I want to talk about olive oil. So let's talk about that just real quickly. Um, so olive oil. Now, what kind of olive oil are we talking about? Okay, let's clarify this real quick before we get into this. We want to buy extra virgin olive oil. Okay, this is where we want to be careful because you got to look. Just because it says extra virgin olive oil doesn't mean it is. You need to read the label, make sure, because some of the oils you buy that says extra virgin olive oil may be diluted down with um, uh, other refined oils. Okay, so look for the seal of approval from the North American Olive Oil Association if you're in America. You can still see that it's grown in Italy and everything else. You can see that extra virgin olive oil. Just read your labels and read your ingredient list to see what's in there to make sure that you're getting that the best possible olive oil. So now let's go over the health benefits. Okay, olive oil has a lot to offer. Um, it's an antioxidant, it has healthy fats, it's an anti-inflammatory. So there's a lot that it contains. So we'll go over these benefits here real quickly. So olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats. So the olive oil is a natural oil extracted from olives, the fruit of the olive tree. Um, the olive oil's predominant fatty acid is oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that makes up about 71% of the total content. And studies suggest that these are responsible for the anti-inflammatory and oxidative states that are beneficial from olive oil that's beneficial for us. In fact, it has beneficial effects that it helps fight cancer. Olive oil is loaded with powerful antioxidants, and these antioxidants are biologically available. In other words, biologically active. I'm sorry, and this will help reduce your risk of chronic diseases such as cardiovascular and central nervous diseases. And these antioxidants also fight inflammation. It helps protect your blood cholesterol from oxidation, and it also provides lower risk for heart disease. I'll just give you a little bit of what chronic inflammation is said to produce. Chronic inflammation is thought to be the leading cause of diseases, or the leading driver of diseases such as cancer, heart disease, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, and obesity. So the extra virgin olive oil will help reduce these health risks. Also, olive oil may help prevent strokes. A stroke is caused by the disturbance of the blood flow in your brain. either due to a blood clot or bleeding. And it is the second most common cause of death according to the World Health Organization. Now, the relationship between olive oil and stroke risk has been studied extensively, but some of the results are mixed. In 2014, the study showed on 841,000 people found that olive oil was the only source of monounsaturated fat associated with reduced risk of stroke and heart disease. However, in 2020, a meta-analysis found no significant link between olive oil intake and stroke risk. So, but the thing that is, there's mix. It depends on who's doing the study, right? And also maybe who's doing the study and why they're doing the study. Okay, but the thing about it is that olive oil has had a long history with the Mediterranean diet, and Mediterranean diets have been shown to reduce disease. In fact, those with on the Mediterranean diet and that live over there, they have very little of heart disease and cancer risks, which is interesting, right? Now, heart disease is one of the other things that the olive oil help prevent. According to the World Health Organization, it is the most leading cause of death in the world. Now, there's been a lot of research, like I said, on the Mediterranean diet, and extra virgin olive oil is one of the key ingredients to this diet. But the research still has its, like I said, some mixed readings or mixed interpretations, okay? But there's a lot of studies that are for it, and there's a few who is like, they can't really see any significant benefit. However, there again, you're looking at a study with people, and how diligent are you going to be doing the studies, especially when there's no monetary value to that? I mean, you're not going to make any money off of doing research on olive oil because you're not the one making the olive oil, right? The pharmaceuticals in their industry are the ones making the money because they produce drugs, right? They want to sell drugs because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Olive oil is not. Okay, and then you have all these different companies. So, I mean, they're not really going to do a lot of research on this. Okay, so but just take it with a grain of salt. But olive oil is not associated with weight gain or obesity either. Imagine that. Eating excessive amounts of calories may lead to weight gain. However, this particular fat associated with olive oil does not make you fat. It's actually beneficial. It's a healthy fat that's good for lowering your cholesterol, and so it's worth taking note. Also, olive oil may fight Alzheimer's disease. Interesting, right? Alzheimer's disease is one of the most common neurodegenerative conditions in the world. One of its key features is the buildup of beta amyloid plaques, which happens inside your brain cells, and this may lead to a decline in cognition or memory loss. According to a review in 2024, found that olive oil may reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and cognitive impairment. Interesting, right? So they think that this is a result of reducing the beta amyloid plaques or neuroinflammation in its oxidative state. That is a result from the taking ingestion of olive oil. But keep in mind, more research is needed to fully determine the impact of olive oil on Alzheimer's disease. Olive oil may also reduce type 2 diabetes, which is interesting, right? Because it is an anti-inflammatory and it is an antioxidant, so it prevents all these underlying causes, right? Now, given olive oil in by itself is only one component, you still need the other things: diet, exercise, rest, all this kind of stuff too. But just taking olive oil in addition is a contributing factor that may help you. Okay, and with type 2 diabetes, it's the same thing. Taking that will also, because of the antioxidative state, anti-inflammatory states produced by olive oil, it may be beneficial for you. And also, antioxidants is also a contributing factor for preventing cancer. Cancer is one of the most common causes of death in the world, according to the World Health Organization. So people with the Mediterranean countries have lower risk of some cancers. Experts believe that the Mediterranean diet is responsible for this, in which olive oil may be one of the main reasons contributing to that, because it is part of the Mediterranean diet. Also, olive oil can help treat rheumatoid arthritis. The reason for this, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease characterized by deformed and painful joints. And according to a 2023 study, found that olive oil was linked with lower inflammatory markers and disease severity in people with rheumatoid arthritis, especially for more severe disease activity. So interesting. And then olive oil is found to have antibacterial properties. These compounds may inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria that's found in olive oil. Specifically those with Helicobacter pylori, which is a type of bacteria that's found in the stomach, and it may cause stomach ulcers and stomach cancer. So therefore, olive oil can help reduce constipation and also improve your overall stomach health, because it limits this type of bacteria. It also promotes liver health. It can help reduce the risk of liver disease and damages as a result of fatty livers and whatnot. So overall, it can improve your metabolic syndrome, or your body state of metabolism, by decreasing the amount of inflammation, blood sugar, and even triglycerides, and LDL, low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol in your body. So it also improves bone health as well. It can reduce bone loss and prevent osteoporosis. So olive oil has a lot of good benefits to it. Something to check out and look at and add to your diet. And there again, going along with your menu that you want to go up with, including olive oil and with your salads and everything else, is beneficial. Like I said, you don't have to necessarily cut off everything right off the bat, but slowly work yourself, make progress. Go a little at a time, and you'll get there. So as always, remember, life is short. Make the best of it. Have a good day, everyone.